Greetings, brothers and sisters. So there was this gaffe that Alec P Baldwin did that was so heinous, right? In terms of being an early nominee for Player of the Year for the Year of the Dummy, right? And I want to show you how that gaffe is really like three or four gaffes in one. Like it's so many different gaffes. I'll show you. I'll show you. It's funny. And my wife and I watched the new Matrix movie, and it was such an absolute mess. There were some like actually kind of interesting parts and some truther parts to it, but it was so poorly done. And so let me go through it here. There was one part where the most interesting character I think is Doogie Howser. My wife and I were like, yeah, Doogie Howser is like the star of this. He's the new architect. So remember in the second Matrix, they had the architect, the guy, the machine or the bot intelligence, the AI intelligence that created the Matrix. And this guy is the new guy in charge of the Matrix. He plays, there's going to be some, minor spoiler alerts, but the movie's just such a disaster in so many ways. But I got a few clips to show with you before I do the Alex Jones thing. But there's this moment where the Doogie Howser says, "Ay ay ay."
Ay ay ay.
Ay, ay, ay.
Sí. Ay ay ay.
Ay, ay, ay.
Sí.
So before we get to the Alec Baldwin gaffe, there's a few more clips here from The Matrix. The first one is there was so much like remedial, low-level dialogue. The acting was bad. I mean, they have an agenda. I mean, the Matrix, people makes the Matrix have a sort of woke agenda. And some of the dialogue of the characters, and Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, is such a horrible actress, and she plays herself old. I mean, it's like some of it, we were laughing out loud. It was so bad. But there's one thing that struck me. It wasn't the worst thing, but it was just, how stupid and formulaic a lot of these movies are and how remedial the dialogue was. So there was this part here. And to set it up, it's like the big action scene and it's chaos and, this, the Smith character who sucks, like the Smith character was great in the other Matrix movies, is played by somebody else. And there's a lot of this where the characters are played by other people. And he's now sort of taking control and, there's just chaos and he's unleashing everybody and they're dropping human bombs from high-rise buildings, a lot of interesting things. And it's complete chaos. And then this happens.
Jack me in.
Can get you in? I don't know if I can get you out.
If I get you in, I don't know if I can get you out. Like, it's just so bad, right? Like she's going into the Matrix in a time of war. It's never a guarantee that they're going to get you out. This is the new captain. She plays sort of the Morpheus role from the previous movie. And she has a British accent and she sort of speaks really meekly. It's hard to understand her. And the music is often loud. But she wants to go back into the Matrix and she says, "Jack me in." And he goes, "If I get you in, I don't know if I can get you out." Like yeah, we already understood that. They're dropping by. Like if you watch the scene in the movie, it's complete chaos. And like I want the character to one time say, "Oh, you can't get me out. There's no guarantee you're going to get me out." Then I'm not going. I'm obviously more important than the rest of the characters in the show. I thought I was guaranteed that if you put me in, I was going to be put out and I'd be saved. Well, since now you put it that way and there's some personal risk to me, I am definitely not going back into the Matrix, right? Like it's scripted that way. Right? Like it's supposed to make us feel, wow, she might not go out. Look at the courage. She's going in anyway. And the guy even told her, he just said it, she might not come out, right? And she comes out, right? Because, she's a returning character. And so then there's a few other clips. These are more sort of truther clips. I can't show you all of them. I have to, there'll be copyright stuff, but I'll show you little bits and pieces. It's mostly of the Doogie Howser character going on some monologues, and he says some kind of truther stuff. But the people making the movie are woke, and they have their own woke agenda. And there's, you can see it, right? You can see the agenda of these people making the movie. But there is some kind of truther stuff.
So he never bothered to realize that you don't give a shit about facts.
And so he's talking about his predecessor, the guy that was called the architect in the second Matrix movie. There's this long truther sort of interaction between Neo, the one, and the architect. And he talks about how the architect was all, about facts and science and things like this. He was very arrogant, and he didn't care about the human mind.
It's all about fiction. The only world that matters is the one in here. And you people believe the craziest shit.
Who you calling you people?
Why? What validates and makes your fictions real? Feelings.
And what he means by feelings is emotions. And then at the end, there's an interaction between him and the Trinity character, and Neo sort of in the background, because the Trinity character is like the real hero of, spoiler alert. It's, there's there's all these underlayings of the narrative here. But he says this.
Bashir is one of my handlers. They're everywhere.
I forgot about this part. There's multiple handlers in this thing, and they point it out here.
Such a pain cloning agents over a copper top. Far more effective just to saturate a population.
So what he's saying here, in the earlier Matrix movies, these agents would come in and take over, a regular sheeple. But now everybody's a potential agent, right? Or he's got multiple agents everywhere embedded in the Matrix, which is, kind of truther stuff.
Quietly yearning for what you don't have while dreading losing what you do. For 99.9% of your race, that is the definition of reality. Desire and fear, baby.
Okay, I forgot about that one too. So here's the one where he's interacting with Trinity and Neo at the end of the movie.
The sheeple aren't going anywhere. They like my world. They don't want freedom or empowerment. They want to be controlled.
Shout out to the sheeple, right? They got some sheeple stuff in here.
They crave the comfort of certainty.
And I just showed you clips of this. The rants are, there's truther stuff in it, but nothing like, I don't know, it validates whatever, like who cares at this point? It's kind of a bad movie. It's kind of a disaster in different ways. Like I said, there's some good parts, but mostly it's like they're making it up as they go along. The acting, the directing's bad, and it's just really sloppy, which it almost had to be because, they ended the original series with some finality and some closure, and then they had to like rework that, and the way they do it is stupid, and But anyways, let's get to the main part here. This is Alec P Baldwin and his epic gaffe.
I gave up smoking when I got married to my wife. She's pretty much of a health nut, and I never was much of a smoker anyway, but I'd light up a couple usually when I was working, because I'm so nervous when I'm shooting to get the job done, and I'm always a little bit stressed out about that. So I would always smoke a couple cigarettes a day when I was shooting, or just stupid behavior.
Okay, so that was a wonderful part, and there was a lot of wonderful parts. There were so many things that were messed up, right? And this is why he's early front runner for the MVP, because that's the whole clip, right? But within all of those things he said, because he used the word shooting at work, which is what happened. He shot somebody at work. That there's multiple memes. There's like 4 memes within that, right? So we get the context of what he's saying here. He was saying that he doesn't like New Year's resolutions, and his wife is a health nut, so he doesn't really have much to give up. But he would, give up smoking, even though he doesn't smoke that much. And he would smoke at work, between shooting, which he meant like shooting the camera, that's what they call it when they're making movies. But he shot somebody on set. So using the word shooting, this is why you don't go on Instagram and go on some sort of a rant, because you say stupid stuff that can be used against you. And we live in the world of memes, right? This is the age of meme. So here's the first meme we can get out of it.
I'd light up a couple usually when I was working, because I'm so nervous when I'm shooting.
You mean light up a couple of your crew members because you're nervous when you're shooting? You might just light them up by accident. And then there's a second meme right here.
When I'm shooting to get the job done.
That one's self-explanatory. And then there's just him saying this.
When I'm shooting.
I mean, him saying that when he's shooting is a huge problem. And that was just the first time he used the word shooting. He used it twice. And there's multiple memes for the second one as well.
When I was shooting, or, just stupid behavior.
By stupid behavior, you mean shooting a crew member. And then there's just the two of them together.
When I was shooting.
So you can understand why he's front runner for the MVP. Because right now there's an open investigation. And he's going on social media. And he did that horrific interview that got slammed by, just the mainstream media. Never mind all the, truthers and all the, Trumpers and all the people that don't like Alec Baldwin, on top of his wife getting caught appropriating a culture, right? And he goes on, he has this long rant about a Splenda packet, the miracle Splenda packet that he found and he lost, and, all the support he's getting from random people. And he's destroying his image more and more, looking more and more crazy, looking more and more guilty, when he should just disappear. Let the illegal matter run its course and come back and pretend the thing never happened, right? But he keeps on talking about it, and then he does something like this, right? And let's put all those memes together here.
I'd light up a couple usually when I was working, because I'm so nervous when I'm shooting to get the job done. When I was shooting, or, just stupid behavior. When I'm shooting.
And, I'm not complaining. I've been covering Alec Baldwin for a while, and, I've been there before this complete meltdown. And, I mean, for about 2 years now, he's been quite a treasure, and I hope he keeps on producing content for me, right? Personally, I don't want to see him to go to jail or any of these things, but whatever happens, I'm open, right? I'm flexible. The MVP for 2000 and 2022, the year of the dummy, right now Alec and his wife are in front runner's position, and we'll see how it develops from here. Only spirituality will save this world. It's Paul Romano, definitely pointing from the Apocalaughs and the Ascension. Everyone have a blessed day and be grateful.